Welcome to Critical Condition. My name is Joe. We're here to talk about sports. So I'm going to start off today's video by just saying, in life, good management matters. And I feel like, people, everyone that works, part of the reasons why they leave a job is just because of poor management. Management matters. And in the NFL, good management starts from ownership to general manager to coaching. Obviously, if you're lacking something there, then you're gonna have a problem later on. And by that, I mean by the title of today's video is who is the most underappreciated player in the NFL right now? And to me, it's a bottom line, plain and simple, and that's gonna be Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks quarterback. Now, Russell Wilson is a very accomplished athlete. He's already a Super Bowl champion in his career. A lot of people, fail to not only just get to the Super Bowl, but just win it, obviously. And Russell's already been there twice. He's lost once. But the reason why I guess I'm making this video is just because I was listening to Colin Coward earlier, and he was just talking about some of the deficiencies that Seattle has, and he does make a lot of sense. And the more I think about it, I mean, you can make a good point that Russell Wilson and the way the Seattle Seahawks are being managed right now, Russell Wilson's being the savior. Because there's certain things I don't understand about Pete Carroll as an NFL coach, and that's where we're heading with this. For one, I hope a lot of people realize. A lot of people want to say that Pete Carroll's this amazing coach, but when you really, really break it down, he's had three head coaching tenures. One his first stop was as a member of the New York Jets. He was 6-10. There was a point in that season where he was 6-5, and then he lost the remaining games of the season, and then he got fired. Then he was with the New England Patriots, where he did about just average. He was 33-31 there as a Patriots head coach, and he took them to the playoffs, I believe, once out of those 3 years, and ultimately got fired again. Again, just slightly better than 500. And then with the Seattle Seahawks, before Russell Wilson came in, he had back-to-back 7-9 winning seasons, 7-9 a season, sorry. And he was on his way to go down the path on getting another winless season because of the fact, or not winless, but just another losing season, and just because of the fact that the year that he had Russell Wilson, he had just drafted Matt Flynn in there. So obviously he had Matt Flynn, Tavares Jackson, and then he drafted this quarterback named Russell Wilson in the third round out of the University of Wisconsin. Now, funny thing about that is that obviously we know the story. Seattle had just signed Matt Flynn to this big contract, and Russell stepped in from training camp, and from his first day in camp, he shocked everyone. He made an impression, dominated throughout the preseason, won the starting job, and the rest, as I say, is history. Um, but the point I'm trying to make here is the fact that if it wasn't for Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll just landing on Russell Wilson there, Pete Carroll would have had another losing season and probably one or two more for sure, and more likely would have already gotten fired from his third NFL team. So from that perspective, Russell Wilson saved Pete Carroll's job. Okay. Second thing on why that some of the things that just really bothers me about this whole situation is the fact that there was rumors and reports, numerous weeks ago about Seattle exploring a trade option with Cleveland when Cleveland had that first pick in the draft when they drafted Baker Mayfield. There was reports that Cleveland was ready, or Seattle was better yet, was ready to make a trade, and they were willing to part with Russell Wilson for the first pick in the draft, and that's just beyond me. There's only two players in the NFL that are untouchable to me, and they're both quarterbacks. One is Patrick Mahomes, and the other is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has had to overcome so much, okay? And, I know people are going to tell me, oh, but Joe, they had a great defense to start off. I get it, okay? We all get breaks, okay? Every single athlete gets breaks. Tom Brady was gifted a weak division, and having Peyton Manning get moved out of there, okay? And that's just the way it happens, okay? By the time Michael Jordan was dominating in the NBA, he got a lucky break with the fact that a lot of players were aging as he was starting to dominate. Okay, athletes all get breaks. So yes, Russell Wilson did get a good break by having a good defense and a good running game to start his career. But lately, it's been a lot of trash, to be honest with you. I mean, they failed to give him a number one receiver. The offensive line, the only true great offensive line that he had in Max Unger, they traded away, and the offensive line has yet to recover. They haven't had a season where they've ranked in the top 10 or better yet, the top 15. Pro Football Focus actually just ranked the Seattle Seahawks offensive line going into this upcoming season at 28th, and last year's offensive line ranked at 27th. Their defense ranked at 22 last year, and now without Jadeveon Clowney, they're on their way to just staying around the same with defenses, okay? So he doesn't have a great defense. He doesn't have a great offensive line. He doesn't have a true number one receiver like Aaron Rodgers does. And, he's made guys that usually don't work anywhere else, like Jacob Hollister, DK Metcalf, and guys like Doug Baldwin into weapons. Seattle, as well, has not really done a great job to position him because of the fact that they just are terrible at drafting at the very beginning. They've drafted guys like Rashad Penny in the first round, who obviously Rashad Penny has yet to start a game, so you can tell me, you can be the judge on that pick or on that side of things. But, Seattle's the point I'm trying to make here is that Seattle is being managed poorly, and the fact that Russell Wilson isn't getting the love and respect that he deserves from his coach and the owner is just baffles me, just because of the fact that this guy's had to overcome a lot, and right now he's just carrying a terrible team, like what Andrew Luck had to do with the Colts. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. Okay, Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is the most underappreciated player in the National Football League. He might be getting paid because he forced Seattle's hands, but they're not throwing love his way, and that eventually is going to blow up with them. I'm starting to have a feeling that Russ may not end his career there in Seattle, and for Seahawks fans, that's very concerning. Thanks for listening to today's video. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave it a like to show your support. And if you enjoy content like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm also going to be continuing on with that Amazon gift card giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment in this video. Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.